Yes, it's me. I forgot I had this video clipped. I think I've shown this before already, but I totally forgot that I had it saved still. From one of the last NGS streams that Pizza Mate did. I took this at close to the end of that stream. She was off doing something else, of course, but like me and Melchior just decided to do this off to the side when Pizza was like ending one of her streams for NGS one time. So
He's pulling his card out!
Anyway, hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of the vlog series. We're gonna pick up where we left off with our little, you know, Anime North coverage. The recap, yeah, let's call it that, right? The Anime North recap. This is definitely a mainstay for the intro screens, 100%. How can you not like it with music like this, right? Let me see where we... Okay, I'm already at the part where we left off last time. Alright, let's go ahead and close this already. Let me turn the... Let me put something a little bit more chill on. Lower the volume a little bit. And then we'll get back into it. 15% I think should be good. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, so we left off on... We found the Tifa waifu. Yes. Took a picture with her. And then I believe shortly after this, we saw Daft Punk walk by. Took some selfies and then we saw Daft Punk walk by here. Daft Punk cosplayer. There he is. Yeah. Fucking legend. Again, my mic just didn't pick up what I said. Maybe that time I was covering the mic when I flipped the phone the way I was holding it. I don't know. And then this was the actual cliffhanger that I left off on. The little tease. Not really a cliffhanger, but you know, a little tease. Yeah, this was a free run photo shoot that Wayne, Lantis, and June all attended and took part of. And Wayne assisted with taking the photos. You can see him right there. He's in his cosplay as well. So like I said, there's some photos here, but there's also some video footage. I think it's one of those cases where most of the photos I took them while I was filming. So I'll probably just skip to the video. I'll just skim through the photos real quick. Because you're gonna see all of this in video format in a second anyway. So if I did take these while filming, I'm surprised they came out this well. I'm surprised they're not like more blurry. There's our boy. Our boy June. Posing like a total boss. Giga Chad. And Wayne over there like a Giga Chad too. Giga Chad photographer. And there's Lantis with the magical treasure chest that I couldn't figure out how to open to save my life when I was completely baked the next day. Look at this weather though. This is the most jarring thing. The contrast. I don't think I took in... No, I do have some video and photos of the next day. It's the complete opposite of this shit. This looks so amazing. Like, there's barely any clouds in the sky. It's great. You wouldn't think the next day would just be hell on earth with... Like, the clouds were almost touching the ground. Like, they were right there, like right above us, and they were just downpouring torrential... It's like Leviathan was summoned in a Final Fantasy game. It just destroyed all of us. But yeah, you wouldn't think that just from seeing this the day before. So unassuming. Yeah, see, here's the video format of most of those photos I just took. really cool cosplays. I obviously haven't seen this anime yet, so I don't recognize, you know, most of the characters. Thanks to Lantis and June and everybody else, though, I do know, obviously, Freerun herself. The character that June is cosplaying, I know as well, but I forgot his name. That's pretty much it, though. The rest of the characters I couldn't recognize by face or name. It's just completely, you know. I was here to show moral support. I think June spotted me back here. I just noticed. But yeah, I was basically trying to show a little bit of support, just walking by and filming a little bit of it before I went back to kind of doing my own thing in the rest of the convention for this day. We would meet up at times, and we would obviously get together for like dinner and stuff. But I think this was shortly after the. Yeah, it's in chronological order. This is after the whole Daft Punk thing and Tifa thing. Like I crossed the street halfway to the convention center. I came here because I knew they were going to be doing this, and then I, you know, filmed a little bit to send it to them later, and I did. Oh yeah, I took this video because I wanted to see if I showed up. Because if I turned to the left, I would obviously see my face. I wanted to see how my color looked on my outfit here. Because if I turned to the left, it would move. So I got a quick snippet here, and I was like, okay, it looks good. You gotta do a mirror check once in a while, you know? You gotta make sure you look good.
Bruh.
This was the opening ceremony. This is what I was talking about. This is, I don't know if I did film, let me see. I might have actually, yeah, I filmed a good chunk of it. So you'll see what I was talking about. Like, the performance is not bad, it's just it went on too long, and that's why I got bored and left. And it was also a little too loud. I had noise cancellation on my AirPods as well. It wasn't enough. So that was like one of the reasons I also left anyway. This is what I'm talking about. Let me actually turn down the background music a little bit so it doesn't interfere. There we go. I just didn't really catch my attention too much either, and it took too long for this to wrap up and for them to actually like come out and, you know, say their announcements and stuff like that. So that's why I didn't stick around. You know, I got some footage of this. I think I did double back a little bit later to catch like the tail end of the opening ceremony at some point, because it looks like I do have footage of some people talking on stage after this. But yeah, like I left the room and went to do other stuff real quick and then came back. Might not be able to hear anything they're saying though. Yeah, you really can't hear anything. Oh, wait. There we go. Oh, never mind. We got it. We got it. Still kind of quiet, but if you have headphones, you can probably make out what she's saying. I can't because I'm listening with speakers, but...
It was interesting when Sheldon was talking about the stand-up behavior for different years and backstage. And yep, I'm still standing. Yep, I was there. I'm still standing. And I was actually part of the original staff in the Cruise Anime Award. Because of the internet connection, so it was technically 29 years ago. But
okay, I didn't want to talk over him, but I was gonna say real quick, this was kind of they talked a lot about the history of Anime North here a little bit, like how far it's come as a convention, and that's, I think, because of the fact that this was actually a special. This was actually kind of a special one for them because this was an anniversary. I forgot which number. I'm not sure if it was. We might actually see it coming up, but it was an anniversary event. Like they were celebrating a milestone, so there was a lot of talk about like how the convention started, how it got to where it is. Maybe they do that every time. Like maybe every year they kind of recap, you know, how far they've come. But in this particular year, I think they were really, you know, they were hamming it up because they had reached a milestone. This is my first time here, so I really didn't have any. You know, like it was all new to me. I forgot who this was. I didn't catch when they announced her. Or like when they introed her, I'm not sure. There it is, 30th. I was gonna say 25th, but no, it's the 30th. The 30th Anime North. So this was their 30th year. So the 30-year milestone was reached. It was a special one. Oh my god, that's right. Oh god, we're gonna get the Twitch VOD muted. Europe's final countdown. Oh, that's right, they fucked up. This is a blooper. You guys got to see a blooper in real time because they were like supposed to show a montage with that music, but then they stopped it right here because they were like, oops, we kind of like, they started at like the wrong spot or something like that. They might say in a second. They like fucked something up. And then they just started over again, I think. Somebody backstage fucked up. Yeah, see there, now it's like... Now it actually started from the top properly. I forgot that I caught that on camera. Did I film this whole thing though? No, I think I just took a small, because it goes on for a while. I don't think I filmed the whole thing. Also, I don't remember what I said yesterday about me being like a super anime tourist. I don't recognize a single anime in this whole montage, with the exception of maybe one, but I don't know the name of it. I just kind of like recognize the characters a little bit, like what they look like, but I don't know the name of it. So this is around like the vendor halls and stuff like that. They had a little Beyblade area. I think I mentioned this before, but at SumiCon in Vegas, they had a little... in one of the after parties, I might not have said it, but in one of the after parties, there was a little outside area where people were doing this anyway. There was just like, it wasn't like an unofficial... People just brought their own like little Beyblade things to fuck around with. They had like one table... No, they had like one or two tables. Two. They had like two tables of people playing Beyblade. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't think I took pictures or video of that, but I might have mentioned it during the SumiCon vlog a long time ago. Alright, so this is from one of the panels that I mentioned that I saw. I don't remember which one this is, though. I think it's... If it's the anime that changes us, for some reason the pictures seem to be... Oh no, they're not backwards. It's... I walked in halfway through. I did not make it for the beginning. So at the end, they show the introduction slide again. They show the introduction slide like the slide with the title slide, we'll say that, on the little slideshow. They show the title slide at the end again, so that's how I caught it, because I see it coming up on the photos. I took a picture of it at the end. But that's why it made my brain think, wait, are these photos backwards? No. Because I walked in halfway through. See how many of these I recognize. I've watched the entirety of Death Note. That was a brilliant anime. Monster, never heard of it. Detective Conan, I saw a little bit of that on Adult Swim. I still have an urge to revisit it because I want to see how it ends or where it goes. But I did overhear a conversation at one point from somebody saying like it's still going, and like the like main primary plot point, which I'm not going to spoil, but like kind of like it's part of like the main premise of the show. This is part of the problem, I think, of what the person was going to complain about. I'm getting ahead of myself. He said that they haven't resolved the primary plot point, like the thing the show starts with. It's almost like, but what he was getting at is that the if you have a long-running anime, it might be a good idea to have story arcs, you know, like multiple different story arcs. Like you end one story arc, you continue with another, yada yada. And it's like they're still stuck on the first story arc for like who knows how many episodes at this point. And so since I've already seen a little bit of the anime, and including the first couple episodes, of course, I think I know what he's referring to. And I'm like, if they're still dragging that out, I don't think I'm interested in going back to watch it. Like, because I was also kind of hoping that would get resolved eventually, and then it would just kind of... It's like part of the reason why I prefer animes that don't just keep going forever, you know? I like animes that are eventually reach a finish point after not too long. And I usually like watching those after they're done, so I can just watch it from start to finish at my own pace, and then it's over. And I can feel like satisfied, you know, that I got a proper conclusion and everything. That's why I took, that's one of the reasons I took a vacation from FF14, and Walker did that. It wrapped things up in a tiny bow, and I was like, okay, I'm happy with that, you know? Yeah, I like that kind of closure, you know? So if it just keeps going, and if it keeps trying to stretch out its initial, like, plot drama, I think I probably won't revisit it. Psycho-Pass, I heard from my brother. He said it was pretty cool. That's one of those animes that I think was just a short little run and it's done. I still am kind of interested in checking it out. It seems like it has some themes from what he told me. It might have some themes that might be, you know, kind of timely. Even though it's, you know, kind of well, old. Saying the term old is, you know, relative. But it's not a brand new anime, at least. We can say that. But its themes are kind of timely. Or could be, depending on how our future unfolds in real life. Could be. Could be very relevant and timely later. Who knows? We'll see. Bungo Stray Dogs, never heard of it. The Millionaire Detective, never heard of it. Unlimited, no. Yuka, Morale, no, never heard of these. But they were showing like a list of animes here. And then they talked about some of them, but they never went into specifics. They were mostly just kind of talking about like how they impacted them. You know, there was a lot of audience participation, really. They mostly just got like audience members to talk about how they were impacted either by anime culture as a whole or by specific animes. You know, how it might have like changed their perception on something, changed their life in some way. My next life as a villains? I almost read that as villainous. I've heard that recently a lot of animes have been adopting this sort of this nomenclature, this like style of naming now, where like it's the title of the anime is like a full sentence. It's just like, and it's getting kind of ridiculous because they're getting really long. And I remember somebody made a joke about it, and somebody else responded to them saying, it's because all the cool like single word anime names have been taken up at this point. Because there's just too much anime now. So it's like they have no other choice now but to make, you know, new animes have to have titles that are just like these really long sentences now. I mean, he might have been serious about that, but it sounded like a joke, but it might actually be true anyway. I've heard of Black Butler, I think. These are romances. Oh, so the previous list was detectives. These are romances. I just realized this is a formatting error with their slide. It's like the font was too big for the little text box they put here, and so then that's why this S that's supposed to be here is there. Okay, that's why that E was there for detective in the okay. I was wondering what the fuck this was. Oh, maybe they did misspell it. It is villainess. They just forgot the extra S here. Look, my next life as a villainess. All routes lead to doom. I guess it's like a sequel anime or something. Okay. I don't recognize any of these. Sports! The lowercase s and then the rest in caps. That's why I said it that way. Okay, I think I might have heard of some of these again. Some of them from my brother and some... Well, I think one of them in particular I might have heard from Lantis actually. I'm not going to recognize my name though. But I know, like, I know there's sports animes, and like I said, I've heard of and seen little tidbits of some of them. Yeah, I don't recognize my name. This is out of context. If you've watched Full Metal Alchemist, you probably already had a reaction. But they didn't just put this slide here just to trigger you. For those who have seen Full Metal Alchemist, it was something the speaker, the person on the mic, like the host, said. It was part of a joke, basically, that they said, and then they put this slide with the timing of their joke. So, unfortunately, with just a picture like what I took, and me not remembering what exactly the person said, this is totally out of context, and it's just kind of, you know. But even, like I said, even out of context, if you've watched Full Metal Alchemist, which I have, you know. I think it stands on its own, almost. It's a little bit like, why you gotta do that, man? Why you gotta do that, you know? Sorry. Oh, there we go. I wanted to see this, so I took another picture because that other person's hair was in the way. I love you, Daddy. You're the best. I love you too, Nina. Yeah, Nina.
Bruh. You bastard son of a...
Yeah, sorry for the feels there for anybody who has seen that anime. I apologize for that. It's kind of a cruel joke, but hey, that's why they put it in there. Like I said, they were trying to be, you know, they were putting in some dark humor on their little panel. So yeah. So after it was over, these are the pictures for after it was over. But first, I'm gonna explain. I gotta give context to the next couple of pictures, which was, you know, a lot of people, like I said already, during this panel, they give a lot of, like, you know, very heartfelt stories about how their lives were changed by anime and how they sort of found the place to belong, things like that. You know, everybody finds their culture, their little subculture to fit into. We all have one, right? And for most of us here, it's either video games or anime or both, right? For me, it's mostly video games, but I'm, you know, thanks to the friends that I've made through video games, I'm getting more into anime culture at least. I still haven't watched that many, just not enough time in a day, especially now. But, you know, going to Anime North, SumiCon, and I mean even FanFest, like, I'm getting more exposed to that kind of culture now, and I really like it. It definitely resonates with me a lot more than a lot of other subcultures that I've kind of dipped my feet into. So even though I haven't watched that many animes and I'm like still sort of an anime tourist, you know, I felt like this would still be a good panel to watch, and I wasn't wrong. I liked hearing other people's stories about their own experiences, you know, hearing their own experiences about being involved in this culture, and it was nice and wholesome. And there was one person in particular, she was there with a friend, or maybe it was her sister, I can't remember, who was very emotional. She was a complete cinnamon roll. She was like a sweetheart, right? But like very empathetic and very just emotional is the best way I can say. Like any little thing that had slightly sentimental value, whether it was something she was talking about or somebody else was talking about, she would really feel like she would really feel it. Just put it that way, okay? And so I walked in late to this, but it had already become a running gag with most of the attendees there, who became really comfortable with each other pretty quickly. And somebody who was talking was like they even made a joke. He said, okay, this next part is a little, you know, like what I'm about to say next, you know, whatever they were talking about, they said was going to be like a little emotional. And they looked at her and they were just like, so, you know, I already know, like, you cry a lot. You've already shown us that. So please just, you know, I hope this doesn't, like, hurt you too much or, like, doesn't make you too emotional, like. But, like, it was all, like, in good fun, you know. She was just, like, giggling about it because she knows. She was self-aware. But, yeah, so she was just, like, the whole vibe was so wholesome. And this person in particular was so wholesome. And then towards the end, she gave her own little speech on her own experiences about how anime has like changed her life in such a positive way since she got like really involved in the culture and stuff like that. And so I was so endeared to that. Like I just found it so I just found her so wholesome that I had to ask her for a picture. It wasn't even because of her cosplay or anything, but I had to ask her for a picture. And I think I took one with, like I said, I think it was either a friend of hers or it was her sister. They might be siblings. And here it is. I think they're siblings. Just looking at them, they look pretty related. So this is her. I forgot her name, unfortunately. We only met for like a brief moment. But she was the one who was like really, really emotional all the time. Like the slightest thing. She was tearing up like for most of the panel, just from hearing everybody's stories about like, you know, their experience with anime culture and how it's changed their lives and stuff like that, right? Then obviously when she gave her own little speech, she also cried a lot there too. But yeah, I just found her so wholesome that I was like, I'm sorry, but I have to at least take a picture with you. Like you seem like an awesome and amazing person just because of how much like empathy I could perceive from her. She just seemed like a really sweet person that I kind of wanted to at least have a memory of. So that's why I asked her for a photo. You know, I've been thinking about this since last stream. I've been thinking that I might, because they have a Discord, so I've been thinking that I might actually look around to see people who posted photos of cosplays they took with themselves or other people, because I did see that on Discord there were like some people who would post, you know, oh, that one, you know, so-and-so cosplayer, are you here? Can you post a photo that you took of me or with me? Because sometimes, you know, people will ask for a photo. Like it's happened to me a couple times. I got a couple photos with some people who wanted to take a photo with me because of my outfit, or I wanted to take a photo with them. Like the Tifa one, you know, I asked her for a photo. And then it didn't dawn on me until later that it's like, well, if somebody else took a photo with their phone, but I didn't get one with mine, how am I ever going to see that picture? And so that happened to a few people, right? It's like a normal thing I found out that, you know, happens. And so there were people who were like that, you know, trying to do shout outs on the Discord for Anime North, saying like, hey, to the person that took a picture with me and so day here in that location, are you here? Can you send me the photo you took of us? Because I really want to see it, you know? And so I kind of want to see if there's any... Yeah, I kind of want to see if I can find a photo of me that somebody took of me or with me. But also, if I can find, like, photos I took with other people that I'm pretty sure we both took, because there were times where we would actually take, like, I would take a photo with my phone and then them with their phone. I'm kind of like, what if I start looking through the history, like the chat history basically, and see if I see myself basically in a photo that I kind of that I don't have basically. Because there were, you know, I talked about the person who thought I was Virgil when I got off the elevator at the hotel, but most people did know who I was actually cosplaying. Whether people would just compliment me or ask for a photo, or even just as I walked by, I could overhear them whispering. They would be like, hey, that's Kirito, you know, and then, you know, off the corner of my eye, I could see that they were pointing at me. They were like, oh shit, that's Kirito or something, you know, they would do that. So most people did recognize who I was supposed to be. It was just literally that one guy in the elevator when I got down at the lobby who thought I was Virgil, because, which again, I don't blame him. My hairstyle is basically like Virgil's a little bit. It's not white, you know. I know he has white hair, but I don't blame him for making that mistake. And I took it anyway because you know, Virgil's a pretty cool character too. So I was like, you know, I don't mind. I'll take that. Anyway, moving on. This was the second day photo shoot for Frieren. All the photo shoots got moved indoors because of Hurricane North. You might even notice this person here is a sopping wet sponge. Look at their hair. Like everybody was soaked. There was no way you weren't gonna be. Like, just, it didn't matter how close the buildings were together. Like, even if you stayed on the side where two of the two main buildings were pretty close to each other, they were enough of a walking distance away from each other anyway that it was just like you were gonna get soaked. All the outdoor photo shoots got canceled and moved indoors, and that's why we're here now instead of outside in the grassy area because Hurricane North. Just notice that person has a rocket launcher. I gotta eventually watch this show or something, like, and see what the hell's going on with that. Like, is that a real thing or somebody just kind of doing the thing? I don't know. Oh, this is one of those moments where I think we have video. Yeah, there's video footage of this, so I'll just skim through these. Atlantis! You're here! You made it just in time to see your photo shoot for day 2. And, I mean, I already, you know, for those who have been watching since, you know, earlier, or just watching on YouTube, you saw the beginning of the stream. We know who Lantis is, the mystical treasure chest. There she is, looking all cute. Got the staff. That person has a big one. The rocket launcher, though, again, I gotta look into this show and find out if that's a thing. You picked the worst times to stream. I'm sorry. I know it's the weekend at least. It's literally like, it's the only time I have, unfortunately. Look, so it's either it looks like one. Is why I'm like freaking out about it. Why does that look like a rocket launcher? That one right there. Like, what the hell? Why does it look like a rocket launcher? But yeah, with my stream times, like, it's either because of my work schedule. It's either I stream right now, it's like 7 p.m. PST, or I stream on weekdays, Monday through Wednesday, at like 10 in the morning PST. Okay, so it's a shitpost cosplay. Okay, June's got it. Yeah, I was like, there's no way that's a real thing in the anime. Like, that's gotta be, you know, somebody having some fun. And yeah, June just confirmed it. Yeah, they're just having fun with that, basically. But yeah, like, my only choices for streaming are literally either right now or 10 in the morning. Or like 10 or 11 in the morning at the latest. On Monday through Wednesday. Those are my only choices. This is a blurred photo because it was taken while I was filming. So yeah, here I panned around to look at all the other like photo shoots that were happening indoors because of Hurricane North. Yeah, welcome to both of you. Thank you both for stopping by. I'm sorry my stream times are so inconvenient. Here we go. I started late, so oh, yeah. I started right at 7 o'clock on the dot. But to be fair, that is the time I started yesterday too. I started pretty much at 7 p.m. on the dot yesterday as well. Yeah, and it's, I legitimately come home from work and just immediately tried my best to like get started with streaming as fast as possible. And this is the earliest I can start it. For the days where I work during the day, basically. Now, yesterday I could have started much sooner if I didn't have to run an errand that was work related. Like I had the day off, I didn't actually work, but I still had to run a work related errand that took 2 hours. So it was just like, might as well have worked, essentially. Might as well have been the same schedule, you know? You won Plushie's PSO Jeopardy? Oh yeah, they did. So, okay, let me back up. So on Thursday I did actual on-the-job training or rather something that it even says you're supposed to do on the job, but this company sucks so bad that they didn't tell me I could just do it off and they would still pay me for it. I could have done it earlier before the shifts actually started. So like from July 1st to like halfway through July, I had no work left. We hadn't started, but I was officially hired. I could have done it then, but they didn't tell me that. The disclaimer kept telling me I had to wait till I was on the clock. And only recently, when it was like actually due, like I literally had to get it done on Thursday, did I get an email from my manager saying, "Oh yeah, just do it like, you know, just do it off hours and then email us like the proof that you did it and we'll pay you for the time that you did it." I was like, "Well, why didn't you say that like a month ago when I had plenty of free time?" So I had to use my entire off day on Thursday doing that. And yes, I'm getting paid for it, but like... And then yesterday, what I did Friday, yeah, yesterday, which was still work related, I'm not getting paid for, but that's because I basically had to pick up extra uniforms for my job. But I had to drive all the way to the office, the main headquarters that we have, which is like a 40-minute drive away. And then on the way back, it was even longer because of traffic. So I had to stop and eat while I waited for traffic to die down. Otherwise I would eat too close to bedtime. And so that's why I got home so late that I started at pretty much the same time as today. 7 p.m. from my time zone. So I'm not getting paid for that because that was me just going to pick up fucking uniforms that they couldn't be bothered to just mail to me or something. Because I only had one uniform. But I am, at least the one on Thursday, which was online here at home, I am getting paid for that because they have to. They legally have to pay me for that. But yesterday's errand? No. That was just a major inconvenience that I had to do. And I'm not getting paid for that. Unfortunately. You got a red ring for the missus? Oh, is that from the is that from the Jeopardy? Like, is that your reward from the plushie Jeopardy? Which I'm guessing is plushie a streamer? Were you guys watching because I know who you guys are referring to. Plushie's, well, for me, because I haven't been keeping up too much with Pizza streams, they're like a fairly newish member, right? Of Pizza streams that has become kind of a regular, right? Okay. Yeah, I haven't gotten to know Plushie too well yet, but I've seen them in the Discord and stuff. Hey, Atlantis! Looking all cute with the staff. Was this guy meant to be... I think this was either a Naruto character or there was a Solid Snake running around somewhere. Yeah, this guy's from Naruto. This is the Solid Snake, but no, he's actually... I think this guy's supposed to be Naked Snake or whatever they called him. The Metal Gear Solid 3 character. So. Plushie's an old friend and he was streaming PSO before Pizza? Oh, okay. So I'm just not familiar with them. But I recently did see their name and was like, oh, who's this? You know? I haven't gotten to know them myself. But so they're a long-time streamer then. Okay. And a long-time friend of you guys. Alright. I hope you guys had fun. I did watch somebody else do a PSO Jeopardy. Here's the video of most of the photos we just saw. I did see somebody else do a Jeopardy once. Who was it though? I think you guys were there for that too. Somebody else that Pizza sort of introduced me to, not formally, but like that I heard their name through Pizza streams. That one, yeah, AK Diley, yeah. I was there for that one. Or at least I watched the VOD, I can't remember. It seemed pretty fun. It seemed like a fun concept, you know? I know you guys have much better photos of this. In the moment, I just decided to take just like the photo shoot from the day before, I decided to take, you know, my own little bit of video and photos, which we just saw, before I bounced and looked around for other things to do. This guy is stacked. This snake is carrying so much gear, dude. He's got so much shit around his waist. I was like, that's gotta be heavy. Let's see if I can do another shout out so I can give one to June now. I think it's been a minute. There we go. I didn't take a screenshot. Oh, I think this is when I added more stuff to my schedule. Which again, I didn't see most of this stuff, which is fine. But I was adding a few more things to my schedule because I was like, I don't know how long I'm going to be here. So let's, you know, look for more interesting things to do. And yeah, that's that. This is what we talked about yesterday, the Irish pub. I took a picture of my food like a true millennial. This was just a Caesar salad. I got it just in case the poutine wasn't going to be enough. Hindsight is 2020. After I finished, I was so full, I was like, I should have just got the poutine. But I didn't know what to expect. I'd never had poutine before. So I kind of ate them together. I was just kind of like switching back and forth between the two. And it took a while to finish eating, but thankfully I had a huge appetite from the day's events. So I finished all of it, and it was great. It was fantastic. St. James's Gate was pretty good, but it was pricey. Quality, but at a cost. Quality, but at a cost. Well, I'm still likely gonna go back again though, because I mean, for me, if I'm on vacation, I'm gonna splurge a little. This is worth splurging. It was really good. It was really good food. So yeah, it was my first time having poutine. There's the cheese curds, the fries, all covered in gravy. Incredible. I can taste it right now just looking at it again. Absolutely phenomenal. I love the flavor. I was just like, this is really good. So here's where we have a bit of a backward situation, because this is, again, this is the day of Hurricane North, right? You guys saw the indoor photo shoot and stuff. But something that happened, or maybe the next video coming up is the next day where it was still cloudy but it wasn't rainy anymore. But the ground was still wet. And there were people trying to climb up this little hill that we could see from our hotel room. That was kind of like a shortcut to get onto the highway overpass that leads to the convention center from the hotel that we're at. And people were kind of, well, they were eating shit, the opposite of this. Some of them.
Absolute Chad. It's obviously a prop, so it's probably not as heavy as, you know, an actual log of the. Oh my.
It got sketchy, dude. Some people did fall. I don't know if I got it on camera, but some people did fall, and we did see it from our hotel room.
This is scary.
Some people did take tumbles. Because look, it's all muddy. Even though it's not raining anymore at this point, it's still muddy from the day before. So these people were taking huge risks doing this. See, it may not look that bad from our POV. It's steeper than it looks though. It's steeper than it looks. This guy's kind of stuck now.
He's regretting it.
It's like once you're like halfway up, you're kind of committed because trying to go back down is far more dangerous when it's slippery. Grab my hand! Oh my god, I'm literally my saying the same cringy shit my past self is saying. Grab my hand! You must live!
He's really rethinking it.
Brother, help me! Yeah, exactly!
He also might feel like he can't go back down either.
Yeah, it's a point of no return, man. If you try to go back down, you could... It's far more dangerous now. Now that you're that high up.
Probably worse.
You gotta keep going, man. Hey, they did it! Yay! Oh! Oh! Dude, I'm making the same noises!
Homeboy was about to trip at the finish line.
See, it's cause... It's cause I didn't remember how this ended. It's been so long since this happened and I filmed it that I forgot if somebody was gonna fall in this video or not. So I was literally, I was reliving it like moment for moment. I was having the same fucking reactions watching it now as I was filming it way back then. Oh my god. Okay, so the next couple photos, I think it was... Oh yeah, some Pizza Hut trivia that I caught on the elevator. The Pizza Huts from your childhood are making a comeback, and here's why nostalgia sells. I took this picture because Pizza Maid was literally talking about how she wanted to celebrate her birthday or something at a vintage Pizza Hut. She was talking about that before the Anime North trip. And then while we were here, I saw this and was like, oh, this is very timely. I think I meant to send this to Pizza or talk about it with her, but I never did. Totally forgot. But yeah, she was mentioning how she wanted to celebrate something. I think it was her birthday or something, yeah. At a vintage Pizza Hut, which they're talking about here. Happened to be on the news. Very timely. And some more stuff I added to my schedule that I was thinking of going to check out. Oh yeah, there was a Resident Evil panel. That one I do kind of wish I'd gotten to see. The press start to heal one too, that sounded like it was probably something wholesome like the one I just talked about earlier, you know? So this is, again, my first year here. I'm not familiar with the memes, but this is apparently a yearly meme, is a giant lemon that sells lemonade. Apparently it's always parked in like the same exact spot here at the convention center. So again, I'm new to Anime North, but to the veterans, they're like, oh yeah, that's always there, basically. That lemon has been there at that exact spot every year I've gone. Yeah, see, there you go. June's a veteran, he knows. So yeah, apparently that's a thing. So again, this is the final day. It's not raining anymore, but it still looks like it could rain at any moment. This is what Hurricane North looked like. Just imagine a bunch of wind and rain. But the sky looked the same. Now the convention ended in the afternoon. This is pretty close to that. Like, this is during the final hours, I'm pretty sure. Oh god, the next video was just at a random panel where I saw that they had a leaky roof. I was like, what the fuck is... Because I kept hearing a drip drop sound right here. There's a puddle on the carpet. You guys saw the water droplet right now. Look. They have a leak in the roof. This is at the Delta Hotel. I was like, uh-oh. This place needs repairs. It's just in the corner of one of the panel rooms. Fucking random ass video. This, I still don't understand. They were arranged like this for a reason. So I took a picture, but I don't know what they were trying to say. 5 p.m. Sunday is when they do the closing ceremony. Yeah, because the convention officially starts at 5 p.m. Well, on this weekend it was on Friday. So it makes sense that it ends at the same time that it started. Like 48 hours later. Which was interesting. I was like, the start time is at 5 p.m. Yeah, that's when they have the opening ceremony and stuff, but obviously people are there since, you know, the start of the day, you know, since the morning, hanging out. But it doesn't officially start until 5 p.m. I found that interesting, because Sumicon actually starts in the morning, but this one starts in the afternoon, which I thought was, you know, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But yeah, I can't decipher what it is they were trying to say here. This is like some kind of code speak, and I still don't... I'm not sure what Boston Pizza has to do with Anime North or what any of this means, but maybe one day we'll decipher it. Oh, there's another Kirito. And his outfit looks like very similar to mine. He might have bought the same one that I got. Because like looking at the texture and stuff from here, it looks like it might be the same one. Yeah, it might be. Because I saw a few other Kiritos, but their outfit, like you could tell, was either from a different manufacturer or they made it themselves. Like there was different, it was like the same outfit, but you could tell it was either from a different place or they made it themselves or something. This one looked very close to mine though. I might have bought it from the same place that I got mine. I got mine from a place called Doki Doki Cosplay. This guy actually has a sword too. Speaking of swords.
There's another one.
The hell did I say? I don't even know what I said. But speaking of swords, I did check out some of the metallic swords that you can, you know, like replicas and stuff of anime stuff or video game stuff. They had a place for that. Of course, if you buy it, you have to like immediately take it back to your room because you're not allowed to walk around with metal weapons for obvious reasons, especially swords. But I found a much better quality version of Squall's Gunblade than the one that I got. Better quality because it actually looks more like the handle part. This part right here looks a lot more to like true to Squall's Gunblade than the one that I have. From a place called Fire and Steel, I think. Yeah, this looks really good. The thickness of the blade and everything. That Kirito was store-bought? Yeah, that one definitely looks like the one that I got. It still had the creases from whatever shipping box or bag came from. Yeah, that's what I was saying. The one that I took the photo of right there, that definitely looked like it looked like the same exact one that I had. Like, I think he bought it from the same exact website. And I did take a picture with another Kirito. Well, it's coming up. It'll come up later. His was definitely either bought from a different place or he made it himself. Yeah, I still gotta check out their website to see if they're still selling this. I'm pretty sure they do. But I definitely want to buy this. Even if I can only have it here at home. Because obviously you can't take, like, again, you can't take a metal fucking prop weapon to an anime convention. Oh, I forgot I took a video of it. Look, it's even got the necklace hanging off. Just like in, you know, like it's true to, hey, see right there, the Griever necklace.
That looks really cool, man. I like it. Yeah.
Because yeah, it's literally the same pendant hanging off of it that Squall has on around his neck. He literally has one around his neck, and then he has one hanging off as like a keychain off his gunblade. So true to detail. What's cool is right above it, as you can see here, they have She-Squall. She-Squall's gunblade, Lightning from FF13. They have hers, which actually transforms into an assault rifle that can shoot from long range, which I thought was pretty badass when I saw it in FF13. This I feel is something familiar, but I can't put my finger on it. There's the Omega symbol, but I don't know what it is. My reflection is right there from the... Pretty sure an employee from that stall tried to sell me a metal sword for Himmel. That's the name of your character you were cosplaying. I was trying to remember that earlier. Oh, it's the God of War Blades of Chaos. Yeah, there we go. Because I've seen the God of War weapons. So I was like, my brain was like, we know this weapon. We know this weapon. You think Lightning is female Cloud instead of Squall? Yeah, most people do see her that way. Her only relation to Squall is the gunblade part, yeah. I think her personality might be a little bit more like... I don't know. Because Cloud acts really goofy, at least in the first half of the game. Or no. No, he embraces his goofiness later when he realizes who he really is. But he acts goofy trying to act serious, dark and serious, in the first half when he thinks he's somebody else. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know. Lightning is Cloud in every way down to the complete lack of personality. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think Cloud's lack of personality is in, like, the first half of the game. Because of the fact that he's trying too hard to be cool and pretend to be someone he's not. Because he's brainwashed into thinking he's someone he's not, but also because ever since he was a kid, he thought that's how he could fit in. Which is the part that makes him relatable, essentially, to... It's like, if I act a certain way, then people will think I'm cool. Like, I gotta pretend to be cool by doing this or that. And he comes across as so, like, like even his friends don't take him seriously. That's why Aerith teases him so much in the first half of the game. It's because she can tell he's, you know, doing that. He's trying too hard to be cool. And he comes across as just dry and cringe. But yeah, Lightning. I only watched one playthrough of the whole franchise. And yeah, she does come across as one-dimensional, unfortunately. She does give off like it's still so hard to like I don't know what to make of that game. The 13 series is just so, it felt like an acid trip more than a Final Fantasy game normally feels. It just felt like every sequel was just going in a completely different direction, almost not even like it's almost just trying to forget what the last game did. I don't know, it just felt so fucking weird. And yeah, Lightning's pretty much the same across all of it. I think they did a better job with her in the final game. The third one, where you actually get to play as her again. Where she's like, I think the only playable character in the third game. Lightning Returns, I think it's called. But she's still pretty one-dimensional. Like they gave her some little parts where she tries to be a little humorous. But by that point, with how established the character is, it almost feels out of place. Like when she tries to pose with that dress in a goofy way, like she tries to make a joke about how she's like the perfect dancer for what that guy's looking for in that one. I don't even know if it was a main quest. It might have been a side quest. Well, Lightning Returns was just, you know, a shit ton of side quests because people had been clamoring for more of that from the last two games. But there was like one side quest for like they're doing like a carnival thing, and then this guy says he needs to find like the right girl with like a dress and everything to do this performance piece. And when you get the dress for her, she strikes a pose with it and says, "I'm your girl," basically. But she still sounds so dead serious, and with that deep gruff voice of hers, it's like it's clearly meant to be funny, but at the same time it feels like out of place for her to do something like that. It's just like I don't know, it's all over the place. Squall is an introvert that doesn't want any part of people's shenanigans. He doesn't try to be cool. That's why I related Lightning to him, because I felt like she kind of gave off that same vibe too. That was my impression of her though. I don't know. That's why in my mind I related her more to Squall than Cloud, because I took her kind of the same way. I didn't feel like she was trying to be cool like Cloud, or yeah, I don't know. I did think it was pretty funny. Somebody mentioned, speaking of Squall, somebody did mention that he was like 90% of the game. He's always like the most again, at least mostly during the first half, he's always like the most level-headed and mature one of the group, and which is part of what leads to his frustration, where he's like constantly face-palming with the shenanigans his party members are doing, you know, Zell and the others. And somebody said, well, he was like the most mature one of the group because he had to be, because somebody had to be, because everybody else was always, you know, doing something really stupid and silly, basically. like they were implying that Squall had to babysit everybody else during like most of the first half of the game. Which I thought was pretty funny. I was like, I never thought of that before. I played through that game several times, but I never looked at it that way before until after he said that. Then I realized that, you know, he kind of has a point. That guy kind of has a point, yeah. I was like, well, was it because he was the most mature one, or did he just come across that way because he just didn't want to be involved in their shit, like you just said, but then they dragged him into it anyway, you know? I don't know. Oh, there's the other one. It's hidden by this chair. I just realized the other one of Kratos' weapons. Yeah, it's hanging right here. You can see the handle. All right. Anyway, so what do we got after this? Oh, well, here's their, here's their little card. I wanted to make sure I could find it again. fireandsteel.ca. So if you want to go buy one of those replicas, there you go.
So you're gonna go to no voting cards, whatever you want, supposedly. Sorry about that. So you're gonna go to 404s.com/vote. The 404s.com/vote. If you have any issues, raise your hand, and our 404 member Mike can help you get onto the website.
Forgot what panel this was.
This is from GTA Vice City.
Well, it's one of the main events, so maybe it doesn't count as a panel, but you know.
I think we're ready to start the show. So, you boot up your fresh copy of Wachovia. You're a ditto transformed into a human, and you've awoken in this desolate.
This is so out of context, I can't remember what this was.
To rebuild society. So you restore habitats, you get help your Pokemon friends to rebuild the world.
Oh, there we go.
But then, as you cross the next hill,
That was the name of it.
area, you
Still can't remember what the fuck it was even about though. It was like some kind of, this is just the beginning of it, but it was like some kind of game show contest. That's why there's a red and blue thing there, because it was like kind of like a game show thing where they had like two teams square off against each other, and there was they would like ask them like they would make them do different things, but like it loosely had the theme of GTA Vice City over it. I say loosely because it was very, loose. It really had almost nothing to do with Grand Theft Auto Vice City. It was just kind of this weird thing they tacked on to something that was completely unrelated. I don't know what to make of it. Yeah, you know them. There you go. The 404s is an improv comedy group. Yeah, an improv comedy group. Yeah, so there was a comedy group and they split into two teams and they did like a little game show where they like went against each other and did some things. Again, they kind of, and it's probably because of the nature of improv, they were improvising. The Vice City theme was just kind of something that was kind of there in the background. Like they kind of used it for like the names of some of the characters that they would like play and stuff, but it wasn't like it wasn't necessarily about that game, it was just kind of like this thing in the background that they had for the things that they were doing. It was very loose. But yeah, I had fun with this one. I did watch most of this. Like, if not the whole thing, I think. I did watch most of it, though. It was fun. It was fun. And the 18 plus version, the loser has to strip. I think they did mention that, yeah. Yeah, I think they did mention that. I wanted to see the crowd behind me at this point. I was having trouble with the camera. I was like, why is it? That's why I was frowning there, because I was like, this thing ain't working right. I'm doing the vibe check. I did almost lose a part of my costume at one point. The little belt that goes around the waist, that's just hanging loose. So a lot of times I was holding it just to make sure I wouldn't drop it and lose it, especially during the hurricane winds that were just blowing my coat all over the place. All right, so coming up, here's one of the other Kiritos I took a picture with. We saw each other and immediately bro-fisted and we're like, yo! We were like, yo, Kirito, we both recognize each other, and then I asked for a photo. So here he is. The texture on his outfit does remind me of one of the other options I saw for buying it. I think it is also bought. But you can see that yeah, it's made of a different material. It looks like one of the other store options I was looking at before I bought the one that I got. From one of the other websites I was looking at. And yeah, this is his little prop. So. Anyway, it looks like what we have left after this, a little bit more of like the vibes of what was going on outside, as well as some more Itasha displays, and then the aftermath when we kind of got home and just hung out for like an extra day there before I actually went home myself, like went and got on a plane. So the next stream will be basically covering that. Just sort of winding things down. There's a little bit of the closing ceremony coming up. Yeah, how long is it? It's like a minute. So yeah, we'll watch that, look at some more of the car, you know, little car displays, the Atasha. There was some people performing outside of some of the convention center buildings, like, you know, playing music and stuff. And we'll wind it down. Yeah, it looks like it will be like a 4 to 5 part series. So it's a cheaper version that lines it. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's definitely a cheaper version, but it's the thought that counts, right? Having the spirit in your mind. It's good stuff. I liked it. So yeah, we'll leave it here. And we'll do on the next stream, we'll do like we're pretty much done with most of what I took photos and videos of for Anime North. The next stream will just be a couple last little Atasha displays, and then we're back to more cat pictures. I took more pictures of Shade back at the apartment. He's so cute. And I'll tell the second Starbucks story too. I got some Konyo counters there. Yeah, of course. When you can't afford to ball out on like the super finely detailed ones, you know, sometimes you gotta go with the Walmart version. It is what it is. Yeah, that's like with everything, yeah. Like the necklace I bought for the Griever necklace, Squall's necklace, the one I bought, I didn't even realize until recently. I bought it over, Jesus, almost 2 decades ago now. I bought it a long ass time ago, and I never even realized it was actually a knockoff. But that's because I didn't even know Square Enix had printed their own silver necklaces that were like Squall's. I still don't know if they did, or if I just found a higher quality version later, more recently. That's still just made by somebody else. It's not an official Square Enix product, but like it's definitely a higher quality version than the one I got. And yeah, like mine, but like it seemed like it was more official, so maybe Square Enix did make it. That's like the vibe I got from it. But I was like, oh shit, mine's a knockoff. Like I didn't even realize mine was a knockoff. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's probably why he had to go with the cheaper one, yeah. Yeah, I'm glad that there are different, because it took me a long time to decide on this one, I gotta say. Because, yeah, like, compared to the other options, it was pretty expensive. I was like, should I ball out on this or not, you know? Like, it was definitely a life decision. I was like, so, like, I don't blame anyone for going with a cheaper option at all. I was gonna say, I'm glad that there are those options for the popular anime characters, because for some of the other characters I was looking at, there was literally only one option. Usually, again, on the cheaper side, of course, but that's because the character's not that popular, essentially. If a character's really popular, then you're gonna find, you know, both the cheaper versions and also the like really expensive, fancy, you know, quote unquote fancy ones with a lot of detail on them. But if the character is not popular in recent days or stuff like that, they're just not well known, yada yada, then you're only gonna find, you know, the more cheaper version. It will be your only option, basically. It's either that or make it yourself. But yeah. Polyurethane versus polyester. Oh, so this is... I take it the one I'm wearing is polyurethane? And his is polyester? You're more of a materials expert than me, so... I'm assuming just by the way it looks with my own limited experience, visually. Also, I think I remember seeing the word polyurethane for my outfit. I can't remember. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, so yeah, we'll wrap this one up here. Like I said, we'll basically next one might actually, you know, I have some footage of like my plane ride home and stuff too. Like I'll show like I have some footage of like the Atlanta airport, and so that's the only reason it might go into 5 parts instead of 4. But for the most part, we're nearing the end at this point. So yeah, next stream we'll wind down with the Atasha display and some street performances. It'll probably only take like 5 minutes. There's really not a lot left here. And then winding down with Shade back home. And the little Starbucks, the second Starbucks story that I have. That added more to the coño counter, unfortunately. It didn't do me any favors. Yeah. So we'll end it there. Let me get the outro screen ready. We need proper music for the, because I'm gonna do the same. The outro will be the same as the intro. For those who were here at the beginning, you already know what you're about to see. And if not, well, you're kind of in for a surprise. I gotta get the right music though. Okay. It's set. And now double click. PU leather, pleather, or vegan leather? Oh, that's right. I think I do remember you telling me that's what that was. Yeah, that polyurethane is also known as vegan leather. That's right. All right. Feast your eyes. Oops, didn't mean to double click that one.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Bruh.
The same way we introed this stream. There you go. Shouldn't be surprising though. It really shouldn't be surprising at this point. It's Ayla! Yes! It's Ayla! The giant pair of tits with a blonde wig, I believe you called her. Yes. The giant pair of breasts with wearing a blonde wig. That was one of Lantis's descriptions of Ayla. Anyway, thank y'all very much for hanging out with me. I appreciate everyone who came by or is watching on YouTube. Thank you very much. And again, special shout out to Lantis and June as well. Thank you guys for coming by too. If I seemed a little, tell me wrong. You're not wrong. You're not. That is a perfect description of Ayla. If I seemed a little low energy today, it's because yesterday's errand made me go to bed so late. It made the stream go so late, just like today's, that, you know, unfortunately, I was a little low energy today because I had to get up early. But yeah, hopefully next Friday, I'll actually be able to start at 6:30 or even 6 PST, which is much preferable than 7. Hopefully, I'll be able to do that. I won't have some stupid errand, work-related or otherwise, that'll make me start late on my day off, quote-unquote day off. And while I'm on that subject, I do apologize, Lantis. My stream times are very inconvenient because of work at the moment. It's either 10 a.m. PST or it's this. It's, it's either at 10 in the morning during weekdays, which I think for you is what, 11, 12, 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. for you guys on the East Coast, or it's this. Basically, it's 6 or 7 p.m. PST, which is like super late for you guys, but it's on the weekends. You know, it's late, but it's on the weekends. Or early during the weekdays. So that's all I can do. So I do apologize for my inconvenient stream times. Even I wish it was a different time. I do, but that's all I can do. But yeah, like I said, thank you very much for hanging out with me. You're welcome for the adventures, Lantis. Thank you for joining me on them. And thank you to June too. He's probably already gone and getting ready for bed or in bed. But thank you to both of you for coming by. And yeah, like I always say, please take care of yourselves, stay safe, spend time with friends and family, don't die, so you can continue spending more time with friends and family. And until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, and good night. And I will see you all then. Peace.
Son of a bitch.